Hey, it's Jeff Suey again. This is a part of a series that I'm starting called Learning Coaching Technology. And this is just part one. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction, a little bit about my background, and also a little bit about how to create your own coaching vision as well. Now, as we go through this particular series, if you decide to actually listen to the whole series, you're really opening a door to another world, a world where you're putting kind of a magic wand in your hand. And that's what you'll have for people. People will look at you once you've started to use this technology as if you have some kind of magical powers. But it's really not magic. It's mechanics. And people think that things are magical or they're magic when they can't see the mechanics or they don't understand exactly how those mechanics work. Now, I got my start working in Vista, California. It's probably still there. And at the time, it's a one-room trailer, and so really didn't have any office space. So instead of having a kitchen, I decided I was going to put my computer right on the kitchen table, and I had an office instead. I wired a phone into this little trailer, and I literally started my coaching practice, started JTS Advisors right there in that trailer making calls. And I was sitting there trying to tell other people and help other people make the most out of their lives and tell them what it was going to take for them to be successful, and I'm sitting here in this trailer. And the fact is that I didn't know anything that you'll know once you've gone through this series with me. Now, this knowledge that you're going to be learning allowed me to eventually turn my little coaching practice in this trailer into a $30,000 a month coaching business. And I had no products and no trainings at the time. But let me bring you back down to earth here just for a second, because I'm not saying that you're going to make over $30,000 a month the first year that you're in coaching. Although you might. It's possible. Because it's hard work to learn these coaching skills and actually how to turn them into cash. But if I did that with no experience, not even the goal to make that kind of money, because I didn't set those kind of goals, then if you find yourself learning this magic and learning it so well that you can change the lives of these types of people, then you'll be able to decide, again, how much money you want to make, and you'll be able to make that kind of money on just your coaching alone. But I do want to give you a few warnings here. First, there are some things that you're going to have to get used to if you're going to take on a coaching business. The first one is that you got to get used to making a difference and getting paid for doing it. Second, people are going to start treating you like the guru. You got to get used to people looking to you for advice on some of the most important decisions they're ever going to make. And finally, you're also going to need to get used to the kind of freedom and mobility to be wherever you want while you work. For instance, working from home. Don't need to pay for gas, don't need to spend time at your commute anymore. Or Hawaii. So you can be at home, you can be in Hawaii. Wherever there's a phone, wherever there's an internet connection, you're going to be able to do business. Or maybe to be in Machu Picchu in Peru. There's a picture of me where I was last year. Or in Alkmaar, Holland, like I was last year. Or in Montmartre's art markets in Paris. I was there in 2006. Took this picture overlooking the Paris skyline as well. It's a beautiful place. Being in any of these places while running your business, if you want that, then this knowledge we're going to be covering is exactly what you need. One thing I'm going to cover today is what it takes to get on the road to all this. Because it's one thing to enjoy it all, it's another thing to create the plan. In order to create the plan, you've got to create a vision. Now, what does it take to create a vision? Well, it's one thing to have a vision for what you want, but this is more than that. This is a business vision now. This is for your coaching practice. So you really need to think about 3 areas. You got to answer 3 questions. The first question you got to answer is, what are you most passionate about? You have to have a sense of that, because in order to make this last, in order to have you be someone who's truly engaged in this process, and you need to be engaged if you're going to be a coach, then you got to ask yourself, what am I most passionate about? Second, want to ask, what could I be the best in the world at? Or what area of coaching might I be the best in the world at as well? And you may not know this perfectly the first time you ask the question. That's understandable. But at least start to ask it and get a sense of, what are you natural at? What is really easy for you that most people say, wow, that's really challenging, and you're thinking, gosh, I could do this in my sleep. And what are the areas that you're not going to be the best in the world at? And be honest with yourself about that. And then finally, how are you going to make money with your passion and what you're best in the world at? You want to find the intersection of these three questions. You want to find the areas that you're passionate about and you're really amazing at, and find ways of turning it into cash for yourself as well. Again, you're not going to have the answers to this right off the bat, but start to think about those answers. I hope you got a lot out of this first part of the Learning Coaching Technology series, and that, as you can imagine, there are a lot more distinctions that we use beyond the ones that you just learned. And there's actually a whole list of them that you'll want to learn in order to get exponential results. And I hope you come to our JTS Advisors Coaches training so I can teach you all of them and give you some of the tasty stuff that will maximize your coaching ability and your coaching business for that matter, with these higher level principles that will give you an incredible advantage. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, make sure that you go to www.coachestrainingblog.com. That's coachestrainingblog.com and opt in so you'll get the alerts when we release some more of these videos. You'll know about them, along with case studies of coaches that no more than a year ago went through our trainings, and now they're making over $100,000 a year using our Coaching Quick Start system. I'll talk to you again soon.